Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. And welcome to another show. Oh, what am I calling the show today? I'm calling it ho, ho, HoGaLeJo. HoGaLeJo. That's what we are today.
That can work.
And as you know, I like to do a composite of the first two letters, ABBA style, of who the guests are on the show. Over to my side, of course, we have Lady G here, looking very chic, of course, in black with some beautiful gold. Down under, we have Lena, of course, joining us Thursday morning in Australia. But, of course, you'll see to my diagonal. Special guest, we have Johnnie from Tarot's Apprentice. So, Johnnie, welcome back to my channel. But this is the first time that you're appearing, I think, as part of our panel this evening. So I just wanted to say welcome and yeah. Go on, please.
No,
have
second time.
Yes,
I
isn't
like
it
the
second time on the
t-shirt.
show? Second time on the show, but have you been on HoGaLeJo before?
Yes.
Oh, really?
So this is my third time because you read my chart the first time. And then I came
yes.
to do the stream. This is when you were on Saturday. And then
right
now here.
Yeah.
Oh, pardon. I stand corrected.
It's a blur of fame.
I mean, it's not like we ain't been busy. So, yeah.
Indeed. And my goodness, it really reflects the questions. So, of course, anyway, it's so nice, of course, to have you back. Tonight, we've got an action-packed show, guys. So I was just explaining to Johnnie briefly backstage that we'll be doing a combination. We're going to try and get through 8 questions. I think it's possible. We've done it before. So it's going to be a combination of 1 card pulls, Shakespeare, mixed in with 1 or 2, and then we'll do a full card pull on where we think where I think we need to kind of pull out the details. So without further ado, let's get stuck in. As you know, we go at great pace on this show, but you know, the speedier the better, I find. All right, so let's begin. So this is coming from Nick Minks, and this will be a 1 card pull. So we're going in our esoteric aeroplane and we're going to Europe. So she's asking, she says, von der Leyen's. So I don't know if you guys know her, but I forget her first name, but von der Leyen is this, she's a female leader of one of the leaders in the European Union, isn't she? I forget her first name. Just gone out of my mind.
Ursula.
Anyway, Ursula, that's the one. Ursula von der Leyen. And she's saying maybe in jeopardy from far-right countries voting to remove her next week.
Ooh.
So this is interesting. So what do the cards have to say? So we're talking about Ursula von der Leyen. Is she head of the European Commission? Is that correct?
I don't know her title.
She's something like that, but she is a key figure in Europe. A leader, very prominent leader for many years now, and it looks like some countries may want her out. So let's do a 1 card pull on Ursula von der Leyen. And what we do, Johnnie, we just we keep the card not turned and then we turn after 3. So after we've made our selection. So Ursula von der Leyen. All right, are we all ready? Yeah, and then after 3 we turn it. 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Well. All right, so let's go anti-clockwise. We're going to start down under and then Johnnie and then Lady G. So Lena, how do you interpret your card? Not looking good.
Oh, there's no mystery out in the cold, but I'm hoping I'm wrong in the sense that she probably, I think she's quite a stroppy cow, but she's very strong-willed. So I hope this is just the beginning of our story here, but here we go with the out in the cold.
Queen of Swords is very put upon in the
Okay,
tarot, so everything in the world has happened to her. But if anybody is going to fight and scratch and cuss, it's going to be her. And so they could come at her, but it's not going to be an easy fight.
Yeah, that's how I felt when I saw all our cards.
Wow. Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
Well, they're going out and they're going to take action. So, yeah, the fight is on.
Yeah, yeah. And here I've got the Four of Cups. So again, this is the card of meditation and pondering, but not liking the options on the table. So I think this is probably talking about dissatisfaction within the European Union. Some are probably happy with von der Leyen, but then a lot of maybe some others are not. So it doesn't look like it's going to be an easy fight. And with the Queen of Swords, they may have bitten off a bit more than they can chew with von der Leyen, because she will know a lot as well where all the dead bodies are buried. So I think they might have a bit of trouble. Yeah, if they tackle her, they're going to have a bit of trouble. Oh, fascinating. I love a one card pull.
Yeah.
I love a one card pull. All right. So that's it, and everyone's coming into the chat. Thanks everyone for joining us this evening. Okay, so the next one, this is another Nick Minksin, but she's good at getting in the short, quick questions. So she says, now Puffy P Diddy, now Puffy has been found guilty on majority of charges. And then Denise Ferguson replied to her and said, I think he was found guilty on only 2 out of 5 of the charges. But going back to Nick Mink, she says, do the cards show if this will lead to more famous characters being prosecuted? Yeah. So will P. Diddy being found guilty lead to more prosecutions? One card pull. And then we'll get some Shakespeare in as well. Celebrities being prosecuted.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready? Do we have our cards?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, after 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh.
Oh,
interesting. Very interesting. So let's do the other way this time. So Lady G, you start off first. How do you interpret your card?
Well, I would say definitely, because we have the sweet smell of success.
I love that deck. I love that deck. Wow. Wow. Johnny, how do you interpret your card?
Yeah, a whole bunch of them too.
Yeah.
A parade worth. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And I've got the card of fate and destiny, which would be indicating, yes.
Yeah. It really does look tricky, doesn't it? And then, of course, with my card here, Fanny, look at this. This is a character literally kind of like tied up in bondage, in bonds. So, guys, this could lead to quite a succession, because it's a bit like pulling on a thread on Granny's jumper, isn't it? You know, when Granny used to knit you a jumper and it wasn't quite properly knitted together, and you pull one thing and the whole thing could unravel. I think it's a bit like that, because so many people were involved in these parties and shenanigans with P. Diddy and Epstein and goodness knows who else. Right. So we come to
move on quickly in the comments. Anyone implicated was given immunity to testify against him. No one else left to prosecute. I don't know about that. I think everyone who testified was given immunity, but I think there was more than however many people at
anyone called to testify.
I think
anyone caught up
more in the wings.
Yeah. Because so much of what happens in law is based on precedent, of course. And I think we are at a time where the kind of culture of celebrity is sort of eroding. And I think they're sort of starting to become a bit lumped in as well with like, you know, billionaires and stuff like that. They're not really, I think the gloss has gone off the sort of the Kardashian era, if you know what I mean.
I
So
sure hope so, huh?
yeah, we'll have to see. All right, well, look, let's see what the Bard thinks of P Diddy. Yeah, because
Ooh,
we've
yucky
definitely
poo.
done it before. Got to see what the Bard thinks of P Diddy. So Johnny, as your our new guest, you'll be first. So what I'm going to be doing, I'll be flicking through these pages with my eyes closed, and on instinct, you tell me where to stop. And then I will read out those pages, and that will be the Bard's opinion on P. Diddy. Yeah? All right. There we go. What is the Bard?
Stop.
All right. Let's see here. Ooh. Oh, my goodness. This is really intriguing. All right, this is what the Bard has to say about P. Diddy. And this is, the first one is from Coriolanus. There is no more mercy in him than there is milk in a male tiger. Ooh. Isn't that interesting? Because he's been known for his cruelty. Apparently, isn't it interesting? There is no more mercy in him than there is milk in a male tiger. And then on the next page, which is from Much Ado About Nothing, he wears his faith, but as the fashion of his hat, it ever changes with the next block.
Ooh.
Isn't that interesting as well, huh?
Yes.
Especially bringing out the element of fashion, because P. Diddy was one of the first kind of rapper music superstars to bring out his own fashion lines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And remember then J-Lo and everyone started to get involved. But I just find that interesting. He wears his faith, but as the fashion of his hat, it ever changes with the next block. So it also shows this kind of shape-shifting or maybe almost superficial style, but it's style over substance. So I find that quite interesting there, the Bard, wasn't it?
Never fails.
Yeah, never fails. Always brings a nuance. Just when you think you've heard them all, we stop somewhere. All right, are we ready for the next question? Yeah. All right. So let's go to number 3. I'll let you guys decide if you want this to be a 1-card pull or a full card pull, because it's quite an important one. So this is coming from Denise Ferguson, and it's about the Supreme Court. And she says, will there be an opening on the Supreme Court during the Trump administration, giving Trump the opportunity to nominate someone worse than Alito and Thomas? And then they go on to say, I feel like I need a spritz of holy water just asking this question. So what do you want? 1-card pull or full card pull on this one, guys?
Yeah, one. Yeah.
One, I think
Yeah,
it's
one.
concise enough. Yeah.
Sure. All right, let's see. Will Duck Larange, oh God, get people even worse than... It's what's happening is just so beyond... it's beyond parody, it's beyond wickedness, it's just it's just absurd. But let's see. Trump, more justices, will that be closing? All right, here we go. All right, whenever we're ready. All right, after 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh.
Oh my God, he's hamstrung.
Oh God. Lena's awful card has returned again. I think it almost kind of says it all. Let's start with Lady G again and leave Lena's one to last, and then we'll go the opposite way. So Lady G, how do you interpret your card? What's your one?
This is the card of democracy or, you know, controlling the emotions. And we know he's got no lack of control for his emotions. But I think in this case, it has more to do with democracy, our democratic happenings.
Oh, crikey. Johnny?
I think he would like to. This is a plot, but it takes a lot more scheming than just saying, you're fired, I'm going to replace you. So, but yes, there is a plot to do so.
Oh, gosh. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Yes, well, yeah. And I think because this is the conventional hangman, of course. So it could be that there's a health event or something, you know, in the Supreme Court. We'll all have to sit on a bed of nails waiting to see what happens. But the possibility could arise.
Wow. And when I'm thinking in terms of where Lady G's coming from with democracy, I almost feel like your card, Lena, is showing the perilous state of democracy right now.
Yes.
Literally kind of strung up on a board, naked, and very vulnerable. And then my card here, look, is pretty straightforward, isn't it? You don't have to be a tarot reader to understand this one, which is, of course, upset, you know, emotional pain, a sense of betrayal. So I would say as soon as he can get someone else potentially even more awful on there, he certainly would try and do that. So oh gosh, well, you know, one card pull is very concise, isn't it? Gives a clear answer. Anything to add to that, folks, before we move on? All right, okay, we're going at incredible pace here. Okay, so let's get to question number 4. And again, I'll give the choice here if it's one card pull or full card pull, but this is quite a complex question in a way. So this is coming from Manuela Orchid, and she's asked several questions in one, but I think we can just tackle one of the main ones. She says, hello, Hoagie and ladies, but of course, Johnny as well. She probably didn't realize that. My question today would be if ICE will be stopped soon somehow, so they don't grab randomly people from universities, etc. And she goes on to ask about Putin and Netanyahu in terms of their charts, which is, of course, more astrological, and asking if I could lay cards on those. And lastly, please have a look at the Palestine-Gaza situation. But let's look at ICE. Now, I understand they've been given a lot of funding, but before I give my 6 pence worth, let's see what our cards bring. One card pull or full card pull on this, guys? Do you think one card is enough? Yeah? Yeah? All right, we'll do one card. So, ICE. What's going on with ICE?
And stories, including in the chat here, you know, people are witnessing these sort of extrajudicial kidnappings, which is what they are.
Yeah, that's really what they are. All right. All right. After 3, you got your card, Johnny? Or he's having a rummage. All right. So after 3, 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Oh gosh. All right. So let's go clockwise again. So Lena, we're starting with you. How do you interpret your card? Quite clear.
Well, this is the Emperor card on the stone throne, not stopping anytime soon.
Yeah. Wow. And Johnny, your card?
I'm encouraged because this is, you know, blessings and peace and hope and that type of thing. But it's also a new relationship. So a new person may have to enter the sphere for right now to put some, because this, if you stop ICE, you can stop him. Because these are basically just random thugs that he unleashed, and they cover their faces so that you can't see that they actually work at the Walmart down the street. So in order to stop ICE, you're going to have to be able to stop him too. But somebody is going to emerge to bring some sort of peace. I don't know when, though. But
interesting. Lady G, how do you interpret your card? What's your one saying?
Well, unfortunately, during this time, we have the ongoing manipulation because we know just how, brain dead they are when Stephen Miller in our sour one, that, you know, you know who I mean, the sour one that always looks like he just stepped in a pile of dog shit. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And with my card here, I mean, look at this. It's the Ace of Wands. So look, this is what? Full steam ahead. This is a card of initiating new beginnings, fertile new beginnings, all of this stuff. But it can also, some of the shadow connotation of this card can literally mean like violence, like being hit with a stick. So when we put that together with the, the Emperor and the other cards as well, it shows that really Trump is really wanting to impose his will forcefully. We do have a question that is on talking about Alligator Alcatraz, which is just, oh my God, that's coming up, and that needs to be obviously discussed. But I don't see him stopping anytime soon. And from what I think has been established, if this big beautiful bill passes, which is hideous, they will get more. ICE will get more funding than the Marines.
Oh,
can you imagine? Yeah.
Yes, I can.
100 and something billion, isn't it? More than the Marines.
And yet already, what's her face, the puppy killer, Kristi Noem, has lost track of 45 billion.
Oh,
lost track
in the ICE system. Yeah.
Yes.
Can I just say one more thing here, Hogan?
Sure, go for it.
From the comments, Tartan Spice says, ICE has been let loose in the greater Boston area. So many lives interrupted. You could literally walk down Meridian Street in East Boston, which isn't far from the airport, and the contents of apartments are all over the street.
Oh, God. It's just,
Isn't that horrendous?
It's just extraordinary, isn't it? Because these times that we're in, I've been having lots of inner conversations, as it was. Sorry, I'm extemporating here, but I've been having lots of inner conversations recently about the nature of humanity. Yeah. And why? What is it within human beings that, I mean, obviously it's gone beyond the scope of what many people imagined, but we all knew what Duck L'Orange was. Yeah, we all knew. And just the scale of this, and it's just like I said, it's Trump's dark fantasies being played out. It really is. It's his dark fantasies, and my goodness, he's got some very, very dark fantasies. And that leads us on actually to our next question, which will be a full card pull this time, because I think it merits a full card pull. So Denise Ferguson again, she says, a photo of the new detention center called Alligator Alcatraz, I mean, you can't make this up, is heartbreaking. Located deep in the Florida Everglades, where rows of beds behind chained link fences that can hold up to 30,000 detainees. Oh, this is a horror story, isn't it? FEMA is funding using money previously allocated for disaster relief. What do the cards say about the future of this detention center and the others Trump wants to build across the US? So this is our first full card pull of the night. Oh, God.
Shocking. And there's already been 11 deaths in detention of ICE too.
Yeah. It's just astonishing, isn't it?
Okay.
Detention centers. Alligator Alcatraz. And he probably got a lot of this from that, literally watching a late night TV show, wasn't it?
Yes.
The Escape from Alcatraz, and he's just, anyway, never mind. Let's see what you guys have, and then I'll just add my bit later. Oh,
Right.
these cards. All right, Lena, do you want to go first?
Yes. So they're convincing the MAGA public this is for their defense, you know, saving them from the marauding immigrants, you know. They're moving ahead very quickly with these facilities. I think then there'll be a pause in the action that could be religiously motivated in some way. It's possible, dare to hope, dare to dream, that real Christians actually start to stand up, or in this case, lie down, you know, and sort of it becomes a battle of what is God's word or something like that that captures the public imagination. This is a little bit further down the track, I think. That'll cause some confusion because people were crystal clear that it was all right, or they didn't want to know. And now there's some religious voice that is going to make them think a bit. Mm-hmm. However, in the big picture, their judgment will come. Now, no time frame on this particular thing, but it will come because it is a contravention of human rights and international law. So again, I hope I'm still here to see that unfold. But anyway.
Yeah. Wow. Johnnie, how do you interpret your cards?
It's worse. The Wheel of Fortune is a card of time, progression of time. This is also where you start to learn lessons of life. And of course, you talk about his children, the devil shall show up. And then there is the Ten of Swords and the Five of Cups. As I said, it gets worse. There is a man somewhere, some way, somehow, who is profiting from this. The cruelty is the point. And so the worse it looks, the better they feel. And yes, there is some sort of judgment. This does come after possibly loss and all those types of things. Of course, there's an agenda to the whole thing. That's the last card. So this is not something that you stop overnight. This is going to have to be some sort of human outcry because, let's face it, prisons are not spas. So a lot of them need some renovation. But this is different. This is cruel on purpose. And so this is going to take public outcry probably for a while. This is not a one protest type of thing. And so because they're stuck into this idea.
Yeah.
That's the point of it.
Oh, goodness. Yes, yes. Lady G, how do you interpret your cards?
Well, first thing we have out, the reading is about, of course, Trump and what he wants to do. What's being hidden is, you know, more of their plans, sharing behind the scenes when it comes to America, what they're doing. The energy coming into it is mentally backing out, not liking what's coming. And these are the people that are looking at it, our communities. What's going on now is they are charging forward with the actions, trying to get away with it. But we have this little thing called the Constitution, which has to be looked at. The challenge is what's being built, all the money they're trying to make from it, and the history behind these things, potential outcome, rapidly figuring out the next move to be able to cut this. And the outside influence is where this is moving to, all of the pain, mental, physical pain that people are going through and waking up to this. So yeah, there will be changes eventually, but right now we're in the mix of it. And it's going to take, I think, maybe a new administration coming in or a, more solidifying of the Constitution and finding the illegality of it.
Gosh. Well. I mean, this is, oh dear. And what I'll just do is I'll just say some thank yous. Thank yous, Teresa Spriggs, much appreciated. And then here we've got Sue Todd says, hello, you beings of love and light. Do you see do you see us citizens that are protesters taken away and deported? Can certainly look at that in my interpretation. And another thank you here as well from Pan Stanton. Trump has already spoken about deporting US citizens, so it's literally already on the cards. He's already spoken about this. So but as you know, I pulled my cards before that little extra question came in, and thanks everyone for joining us. We've got 1,768 of you with us here so far, so thank you for joining us. And please be sure as well, of course, to like and subscribe and share. That would be great and help this channel reach a wider audience. All right, so this whole shebang, Alligator Alcatraz, I mean, I think we're in a state of, we're kind of starting to reach, it might seem a bit extreme to say, but I think we're kind of starting to reach that kind of torture porn kind of level. Do you know what I mean? Where they're trying to come up with ever more and more
graphic sort of
and graphic, you know. It's not just Alcatraz. Remember, they wanted to do Alcatraz, realized it was a bit too expensive, might take too long to ship people there, like the idea of it. And they're like, oh, what else can we do? I know, we do Alligator Alcatraz. So we'll put them on this old airport thing. And if they try and escape or swim away, they'll be eaten by the crocs. I mean, it's kind of like got this Indiana Jones. Do you see what I mean? This is
very, it's not coincidental.
Over the top, yeah. And they're going for the big visual. So if we look here, we got the Tower card. This will be a disaster for anyone that goes to this place, yeah. Particularly when you see my outcome card. This is designed for shock and awe.
Yeah.
This is designed for maximum impact and fear in people, not only people that are undocumented, but also for people that are naturalized citizens, because Trump has already thrown out the little thing just to say, we kind of want you to, you know, when he says, well, I'm thinking about it, what it means is, I'm really working hard on this, and before you know it, it's going to be, you know, passed. So this is the aim of it. It is scorched earth, shock and awe, poison the wells, rape and pillage, all of this stuff. This is what he's wanting to do. If you look here in the next position, this is an absolute massive power trip. Yeah, this is Duck Orange feeling like the master of the world. And obviously, because the SCOTUS, you know, keep laying over and keep giving him more powers, he really is feeling like he is the master of heaven and earth right now. He feels like he can do whatever he wants. And so far, unfortunately, he's not been proven wrong. Yeah, here with the Magician. This is also my Elon Musk card as well. You know, I associate this with Elon Musk, and technically it's showing up in the obstacle position. So this is Elon now calling from the sides. We got a question on him later, trying to virtue signal when we know that he's a hypocritical douchebag. But anyway, so there's that. If we look here, I think this might be Christy Nome here, yeah, with the 9.
Do you like my t-shirt?
Yeah, Christy Nome. So she seems to have recovered from her allergic reaction, or what did we speculate last week that one of her implants had burst? But anyway, doing a Roman salute. This is Christy Nome, literally trying to look glamorous while she dishes out evil. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
Sorry, I've just got a dog back in crisis.
Sure, no problem. If we look here, we've got the 7 of Pentacles, which I refer to as the card of ROI, your return on your investment. So they are sinking money into this because they're looking to reap some kind of harvest, some kind of dystopian world that they want to propagate in the world. And this is part of their plans. And then if we look here, how appropriate, yeah, that this card here, we get the 6 of Swords, which is here, you can see someone that is traveling, trying to move to smooth the waters, but this person could also be a captive as well. When you actually look at the card, this could also be a captive. And I find it very interesting that there's the water here, because they're talking about Alligator Alcatraz. It's out in the swamps. So these people would literally, potentially US citizens, be taken into the swamps. So I had to pull a clarifier. Look what I got. Oh gosh. Yeah, just like Johnny, I got the devil card. There is no good that will come out of this. It is designed for maximum evil, basically. And Elon is on a gigantic power trip. And as this is the obstacle position card, sorry, I'm saying Trump is on a massive power trip, but the magician is turning up in the obstacle here. Could it be that maybe Elon may be the only one that can provide any kind of resistance to this? We have to see. Anything to add to that, folks? No.
And this is down in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Meanwhile, they have now stopped, or about to. The Navy brings in the information from the satellite, and then they send it to the oceanic atmospheric people for the storms and the weather tracking and all that. So now the Navy is about to stop that. And so you will not get advanced warning of hurricanes anymore. Meanwhile, we can build a prison, though, in the middle of the Everglades.
Yeah.
Don't you feel safe?
Because you know, some purpose, yeah. All of this stuff, I know what their goal is, and I've not wanted to go into it too much on YouTube because it is very, very dark. But I know what their goal is. I've been shown what it is. But join the dots. They're getting rid of the things that can let you know about hurricanes, and we're in global warming, yeah, and we've got massive hurricanes that will come, and they've also stopped FEMA. Think about what they're trying to do, particularly for the red states, which will be hit the most. So, oh God, you can't make this stuff up, isn't it? Are we ready for the next question?
Yeah.
All right. So this is coming from Cheryl Renee. And I think we'll do a full card pull on this as well, actually, because we've got time. So Cheryl Renee says, love and light to you, Hoagie and Johnny, and your clever crones of cunning, she says.
You're an honorary crone, Johnny. Embrace.
She's always got some fabulous one-liners in there. And she said this, but this is a very hard-hitting question, so I think a full card pull. With the USDA being disbanded, the group that inspects America's food, I mean, anyway, will rampant foodborne illnesses be the last straw for Trump supporters as they potentially watch their children die with no Medicaid to help them? Oof. Yeah. Oof. So let's do
Winston. This is another borrowed dog that I don't know how we end up minding every dog in Australia, it seems to me.
You're an unofficial dog sanctuary.
Whoosh.
So
sorry, just recap the question.
So the question again. So with the USDA being disbanded, the group that inspects America's food, will rampant foodborne illnesses be the last straw for Trump supporters as they watch their children potentially die with no Medicaid to help them? Well, it won't just be the kids, it'll be everyone, won't it? So let's see.
I can go if you want, Hoagie.
Go for it, Lena.
As we know, I think this is only one of the issues that is putting people at risk. So let's keep that in mind. There's some confusion. There's confusion about absolutely every aspect of this administration. But I think in terms of this question, it's like, which destructive, fatal policy takes precedent over the other ones that are doing harm to you and your family? right? Like it's like that. It's like this is just in the queue for this.
Yeah.
So here we have very earthy, farmy sort of cards in the sense America's food has already been compromised up the wazoo, but this is another dimension again of this. And what you put in comes back to you, as you would say, Hoagie, ROI, return on investment. So this has been a long time in the making in other ways. Could have to import food. I think this is not, well, it's more to do about what happens when you round up your agricultural workforce rather than what food's getting past the keeper. So there's going to be major food problems for sure.
Gosh.
Some people will make money off this. Now, I know you're astonished. Just cope. I know. Some people will be out to make money off other people's, stuff. And it's all in the balance as we speak. In other words, it hasn't hit yet. Like it's still down the track and everyone's just pretending it's a normal world when it isn't.
Gosh. Johnnie, how do you interpret your cards?
Will this be their last straw?
No.
Because you blame the structure, not the builder. There's the Eight of Swords and the King of Pentacles. They are tied to the builder and they blame the structure. So Trump didn't pass the bill. Congress did. Trump didn't pick the cucumbers that were riddled with salmonella. Somebody else did. It's never his fault because they had somebody else to blame. And so this isn't their last straw for him because they don't know where to put their ire. They don't know where to put their blame. They can put it on anybody else except for him. So they still stand strong with the orange one because why wouldn't they? There's the Page of Cups and the Lovers. They are of like mind. Anything that is happening to them is not his fault. And then if they think it is, Fox News can tell them it's not, or he can get on TV and convince you it's not. So as of right now, no.
Gosh, it's sad, isn't it? It's sad. Lady G, how do you interpret your cards?
Well, that will be the new gift from guess who? Trump signed that he's going to sit there and defend. The pushback will be there. So the new thing will be not liking the harvest, and wanting to temper things. But we have going on will be the mature man. We know who that will be. The Lovers, the one close to him. But then there will be this kind of action by women coming up about what's going on with that. The challenge is the main male and fighting, but the wheel of karma is turning on him with that because potential outcome is concern with the new things that are taking place and the restrictions that are happening, the mental problems because of it. And when it comes to the White House at that point, there's going to be a lot of suffering and things, and they're finally going to see this abuse of power. But it's going to take a lot to get to that point for them.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it's just the power of cults, eh? The power of cults.
You wonder, do you want someone that loyal to you? It's like, how would that look like? You can do no wrong. You can say no wrong.
Yes.
You can give no wrong.
Yes.
Lord.
It's extraordinary to witness.
Yeah.
It really is. Because you think humanity has moved on past this superstitious God King stuff. And you'd be wrong.
Yeah. You realize it hasn't at all. And these have been the things, and I'll read my cards soon, but these are the things I've been really pondering, which is the overall vibration of humanity and how much work we still need to have to do, because Trump has worked it out. You know how I said before, he made a decision with this electoral run, and there was a part of him who was just like, screw it. I'm not even going to try and hide what I want, because I know the hearts and souls of these people, and they want that cruelty from me. They thirst for it, even if it's masochistic. Anyway, let me read my cards. So, will they turn their backs on Trump and the administration, even if they are poisoned by whatever? If we look here, no, I don't think so. Yeah, because we got the High Priestess here. This is the card of what? Manipulation, machination. When we're talking politics, yeah, this is one of the most subtle and devious cards out there in its shadow. Yeah, but it's very subtle. What this is also talking about, now we see here she's holding the Torah, etc. But this, in a way, this is like the counterpart in many ways to the Hierophant, isn't it? Both have a spiritual connotation. The Hierophant can talk about ordinary, organized religions, standards, etc., and stuff like this. But this is like by moonlight. For me, this is really starting to symbolize the cult. Yeah, this quiet, deep, embedded devotion they have to Duck L'Orange. What is the obstacle, if there is any obstacle at all? It's the world. Yeah, it's gonna take something external to America. I think stop this.
Yes.
I think it's the only thing. They are too rabid. It's like zombie apocalypse. They've been bitten and they're infected. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's only the world either moving on, but not just that. It's the tariffs, the consequences. You know, with your card, Lena, with that 3 of Wands that we saw in terms of the culture, the imports, exports. Look, China's already putting Brazil front and center for their soya. Yeah, it's going to be. It's when the world keeps reacting to America in a certain way, that's when people will realize. If we look here, we do have a victory card in the middle, but for who? Yeah. But for who? When you look at the other 2 cards, look what's next to it. We got the moon. So do you see, this can talk about what? Mental instability, emotional instability. This can talk about lunacy. We're dealing with people that are deep in the cult, and we've got the 2 moon energies here, so they are lost. And then if we look here, the only here we've got the Knight of Swords, which can be the aggressive intervention. This can also be a very spiteful and a very cruel card. It's almost like they have to be. It's almost like something violent has to happen to them, and they have to know that it's come from the state. It's like it's only the worst of the worst has to happen to them so they can wake up. That's how I see it. And this regime is aggressive. This regime is aggressively against its own supporters. Most of the people in the red states are going to suffer the most from what they voted for. So it's madness. Anything to add to that, folks?
No.
Oh gosh, madness, isn't it? All right, so let's scribble that one. Now these 2 might be a little bit more light-hearted. I wanted to end on a couple of 1-card pulls that may give us at least a little bit of light relief. So Nick Minks again. She says, Elon, she says, Elonia may be getting deported. Yeah. See what the cards say. Would Krusty, which she means Trump, would Trump really send his ex-supporter away? So let's do a 1-card pull on that. And let's discuss.
Bearing in mind, he was asked this question by a Fox News reporter at that. He said, well, maybe we'll have to look at it. Maybe we'll sick Doge on him. Someone's butt hurt again all of a sudden. Like, okay.
Oh, gosh. All right. One card pull. Will Trump deport Elon? All right. And we have 2,079 of you with us right now. So thank you so much for joining us.
Goody.
All right. Okay. After 3, will Trump deport Elon? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. All right. So, Lady G, let's start with you, and then we'll get to it. Lena.
Well, I have the card of resurrection, so
There's 2 skeletons.
yeah, the 2 of them. He may try to take him down to the bones, but they kind of each other. So yeah.
Oh, you can't make it up. Johnny, how do you interpret your card?
If he gets to a point where he does not technically need him, then sure. But the Queen of Cups is also a card of what you cherish. For what her cup is not a technical cup. It's the body of Jesus in a urn. And so it is something that you would cherish or something that you would long for again. So if he gets to a point to where he feels like, I don't need you anymore, then Rosie. So yes, he wants to, but right now, no.
And Lena, how do you interpret your card? Is that a
I
razor?
think this is Trump's fantasy of what he'd like to do to Elon. I'll leave it there.
Indeed.
Which would include deportation.
Yeah.
But I think maybe some more intimate sort of fantasies going on here.
Would you like a shave, Elon?
Or to be shaving something else. Absolutely. Well, with my card here, I've got the Page of Pentacles. And just to give a little bit more context, I'm sure many of you have seen the clips, but maybe not everyone has. And Trump was asked before getting on Air Force One, first of all, they said, what do you think about Elon? And he was like, well, he's just sore about the bill because I've basically cut his EV subsidies. And then he says, but you know what? We've got this thing called Doge. Have you heard of it? And he says, this perhaps is the monster we can send to eat Elon. That's what he said. Yes,
that's what he said.
Air Force One. And then when he posted one of his tweets, I just had to laugh. He said, oh, and by the way, Elon takes a lot of subsidies, from the government. He says it costs a lot of money for all of these rocket launches and this and this and that. And he says, well, maybe if he weren't around, we could save a lot of money. Perhaps Doge should look into this. So you see, Dr. Orange, I mean, he's evil, but I think ultimately what this comes down to is money. How much Trump can afford to lose his support. He's weighing it up, but you see here, it's a page. What this tells me is because now Trumpenstein is obviously a crypto billionaire in his own right, the more his wealth increases, the less he feels like he needs Elon. So it is within his purview. He could literally sign an executive order because Elon didn't get his citizenship legit anyway. His student visa had expired. So he's ripe for ICE.
It wouldn't be ICE, of course. It would be a first class, jet, but...
it depends on how mad you make him.
Well, who knows?
But also, what if Canada revoked their citizenship of him too for Elon? If he was deported from the US, not allowed back into Canada, he would most likely go to the UK. However, everyone in the UK hates Elon. Am I not correct there?
Oh, no, we don't like him at all.
Yeah, that's right. So he wouldn't want to live in a compound in South Africa. He's not a Europhile. So it'd be very interesting symbolically if it goes forward.
Well, you know, Mars has seasons, and I heard it's nice this time of year. One way ticket.
And winters that last for 200 years, apparently.
Yes, that's right.
Unstable, yeah, it's got an unstable wobble. My goodness. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, isn't it? You can't make this stuff up. All right, well, look, let's squeeze in one more.
Yeah.
And I think this would be a one-card pull, and this is actually going to be another Shakespeare, actually. And Nick Minks again, but this was just funny. I had to just put it in. Anyway, so she says, "Morning all. Trusty or Trump has just bought out a golden calf inspired eau de shite fragrance."
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, $199 a bottle.
I mean, sorry, compose yourself, Hoagie. I mean, can you believe we are in this scenario? I mean, can you actually believe it? That Trump is selling knickknacks and perfumes the Oval Office.
Because if you want to smell like anybody, that's who you want to smell.
It's so tacky. I can't even remember another tin pot dictator who peddled this sort of nonsense.
Shoes and telephones and pictures of your ear and parts of your suit and perfume. Mind you, this is his fourth one. He had, second one. He had a man and a woman's perfume back in the day, and now he's got a second round.
And apparently his fabulous Trump watches were tracked down to a mall in Wisconsin or something. You know, he just
the office is there. Nobody's in there, and if you call it, nobody ever answers.
It's just like it's such a naked con. I think one of them. What is it? One of the perfumes is called. What is it? It is called 45 and 47. Yeah, and the other one is called Fight, Fight, Fight. You know, oh my God!
But
so
it takes you back to the old the carnivals and sideshows and stuff, and you look at some of the acts and you think, oh, how did people believe that? You know, but it was 1920, so why would they not? It's like MAGAs have suspended their modernity.
Because all you have to do is look back. Trump University, Trump Steak, Trump Water, Trump Casino, Trump Airline, Trump Magazine, Trump Kids. Everything else that got his name on it fails. And yes, let me buy your next thing, your shoes, your watch where the letters fall off. Like this. Okay.
Yeah, it's just extraordinary. It's just extraordinary. So,
and it's not his fault. It's actually, here am I saying this. It's not his fault. It's the fault of allegedly normal people who allowed it to get to this stage, and then on the knees believing everything from the cult. He's always been upfront. I am a sideshow act, you know.
Yeah, he's never been subtle about it, and now he's really gone for it. So this is a one-card pull. So she says, Krusty has brought out a golden calf-inspired eau de shite fragrance. Do the cards give an idea of what it smells like? You know, the death card or smug merchant, etc. But let's just pull a one card each, just on the whole sales and knickknackery of Trump, and then let's get the bard's opinion on Trump's perfumes. And we'll close the show there. So one card pull, which is just an open.
You had to use the
an open free read on what are the energies of these perfumes, and then we'll get Shakespeare's opinion on Trump's scents, and we'll close the show with that. Oh, you can't make this stuff up. All right.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Okay. Here we go. All right. After three. 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Oh
my God.
So
if you can see, it's someone who's exhausted, spread across 3 chairs or something. And can you see the skeleton in the background?
Yeah.
Okay. So it smells like you've been dead for 3 days.
Johnny, how do you interpret your card?
Smells like medicine. It's the
Okay,
temperance.
that's probably better than mine.
Oh, because you've got temperance, so it smells like medicine. And Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
I would say it's got fortune, but over here we have the little green fairy, so it probably smells like absence. It's going
Ah, interesting. And for me, I don't think I'm quite getting a scent. I think I'm getting like there's more to come. Yeah. One deals with entrepreneurship. This is going at speed, things going through the air. So I think there's more of these fragrances to come. And one thing I would just want to mention, like in Vedic astrology, Trump's star sign, sun sign is Taurus. He's the last day of Taurus. And Taurus is all about scents and smells and stuff like that, believe it or not. So he's kind of living up to that. Shall we see what the bard thinks of Trump's perfume? Who read last time? Lady G, was it you last time?
Wouldn't it be
Yeah,
me?
Lena, I think it's you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this is going to be
Yeti himself, yeah?
his perfume, what the bard thinks of the Yeti's perfume.
Oh,
yeah?
okay.
And the knickknackery, yeah?
Ready, stop.
All right, let's see. Oh, it says here, so that this is from Love's Labour's Lost. It says, your wit makes wise things foolish.
No, that's so Trump.
Isn't that interesting? Your wit makes wise things foolish. I think that's talking about the brainwash, isn't it? The brainwashing.
Yeah.
And then here, and then on the next page, this is 12th night, it says, better a witty fool than a foolish wit.
Oh, I'm not
So
sure
do you
about
see?
that.
Yeah, this is
Better
basically
a witty fool than a foolish wit. Oh, well, here's the thing. Trump can, reporters come in and they're fired up to be grown-up reporters, and they'll ask him something. And he has throwaway lines which his base think are witty, right? And it's a very clever technique of getting around huge, heavy stuff, is throwaway lines. And he is the master of the throwaway line.
It only works for those who believe it. Everybody else sees you as a fool.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe it's about that. He does sort of send a chuckle around the room.
Because there's nothing wrong with selling steaks and shoes, but your, in particular, wit makes these wise things foolish. Yes. Now I can look at your watch and see a piece of garbage instead of, something else I could accessorize with.
Yeah. But you know what? How I'm seeing this as well, particularly your wit makes wise things foolish. I think this is also talking about Trump's relationship with the media. I really do. Because he does, because he understands, because he's a showman and he's a con man, he knows that what he's doing is absurd and outrageous, but it's able to diffuse the sheer evil of what he's doing as well. Do you see what I mean?
Yes,
it's like Krusty the Clown out of the Simpsons. Do you know what I mean? It was really quite a bit of a dark, sinister character, but it's a disarming technique.
Yes.
He will just throw in the absurd, so then you don't think so much about the alligators in Alcatraz. Do you know what I mean? But even the alligators in Alcatraz, it's so over the top. And this is like, this thing is, it's these throwaway comments that kind of diffuse and stop the media really, because I feel like they've all become kind of foolish in a way. Like everyone was warning about Trump, like he is a dangerous person, and they would always sane wash and, oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And he just has this way of almost like with the perfume, trying to make something very, very deeply rotten and stench worthy smell better than it is. Do you know what I mean? And that's what Trump does. He's able to make himself smell better, be more palatable than he really is, when really he's a deeply, deeply dangerous person. But it's the wit that diffuses. Do you see? Even his argument with Elon, do you know what I mean? He throws in the jokes. He's like, well, maybe we should just have the monster of Doge come and eat Elon. And you will laugh at that, because you'd be like, Elon deserves it. But then he's also admitting, this thing I've created, Doge, is a monster. It can devour people. But you see, I think that's...
I totally agree.
Well, the time, guys, has gone in an absolute flash. There is over 2,200 of you that joined us live tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you found that interesting. Yes, we do have to cover these dark topics, but I hope we've given you some giggles as well in and amongst. You just have to, isn't it, in these times? Like they say, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. We have to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and remember, protest, 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 and where you spend your money counts. What you consume counts. Consume more of the stuff of the good guys, the good guys giving you good information, and decrease your consumption of the bad ones, and make your choices, and it does work collectively. So I will leave it there. Johnny, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure we'll have you back on the show. And appreciated your contributions. And of course, Lady G and Lena, as always, fabulous. And it's time to go. All right. So we'll see you soon, folks. Oh, yeah. All right. Bye-bye.
Ciao.